When nobody is looking, I'm working on grace. I'm working on compassion for myself because we can't give anything that doesn't exist within us in order to extend to other people. When nobody is looking, sometimes I question the type of mother that I am. What's going on, Lotus Tribe? Welcome to another episode of ThinkPeace, the place where we reflect deeply, we pull out our journals, we turn inward in order to become better versions of ourselves. I have my journal right here. I hope that you all have yours. I have already journaled in this entry, but I feel as though this may be one where I elaborate some more. We become vulnerable in this space. It is truly for us to reflect and just be more intentional and insightful. So if that's something that speaks to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow the channel because we're on all platforms. So I am grateful for you being here. I'm grateful for you journaling with me. Let's dive in. So today's journal prompt is, who are you when no one is looking? And I know that the other two episodes were deep, to say the least. But who are you when no one is looking? I had to sit with that and really take a look in the mirror. I had to take a look in the mirror. And even though I am on this ever evolving growth journey, I wanted to be very strategic because I didn't want to feel as though I had to speak of who I once was. I wanted to speak from a place of the present. And I've been actively working on myself to move from where I was. And I'm still dealing with some things at where I am. And so I wanted to identify those things so that I can continue to move forward because this journey is ever evolving. I don't think there will ever be a place in life where you are not learning. I think that this experience is for us to learn at 222. It is for us to continue to grow. And I think that the knowledge of the universe is so infinite that there is remotely no way that we can consume all the information in a human experience or expression. So, who are you when no one is looking? Well, Faye, who are you when no one is looking? I am a little insecure, and I'm going to say was because I want to be careful about my tongue and what I speak over myself. I was a little insecure. I was a little jealous. I was a little fearful. And I say was because I am actively working on it. And again, I don't want to put that out into the universe. When I reflect on, you know, where I am and when I close the door, there are a lot of things about myself that I'm still growing, even though I've been working on it. And you can't help just being vulnerable. If I can have a vulnerable moment with you all, you can't help to look outside of yourself sometimes and see others and what they've gained and what they have, and not say at some point that you wish that was you, or you reflect on what you don't have and the choices that you didn't make. So for me, it's not necessarily what I see all the girls doing and the traveling and these things, even though that is something that I truly, truly desire. Like, I want to be able to travel more than once out of the year with myself and my children. But it hits me home when I talk about these pockets. Like, I think about the decisions that I could have made And if I would have known then what I would have knew now, where I would be in this moment. And so it is a constant reflection of myself, of one, forgiveness and understanding that I'm at the right place at the right time. But yeah, I do feel insecure. I do feel insecure when, sometimes I'm still driving my standard vehicle and I'm on the road and I see these other people with these luxury cars. And oh, how I wish I was already there. And oh, how I wish I had different responsibilities sometimes. But it is that self check-in. Like, it's not to say that any of these things will just completely go away, but it is that self check-in, right? Like, you knock it off. You don't sit in it. That may stem some jealousy too. Now that one, I say a little, but you have to be careful with the essence of jealousy and envy, because you'll be chasing what somebody else have. You'll become a different person. You'll become vindictive instead of focusing on what you do have and what you're grateful for and what is in your life. Like, a lot of the times we idolize people when we seek what they want, but we don't know what that door looks like when it's closed, which is why we sitting with ourselves right now. You know, it would be unhuman of me to say that sometimes I don't get jealous. I think all people get jealous. Now, whether you sit in it or not is the variable, is the determining factor. But yeah, I try my best not to wear that face, especially when it comes for being happy for others and their accomplishments, and allowing that to be my fuel to say, damn, look at what they accomplish. I may feel a little insecure, like, damn, you're not doing good enough or you're not there yet. But then there's this acceptance of me to say, you're at the right place at the right time. And this should motivate you to kick you into gear, not to be into competition, but to motivate you to want more and better for yourself in your life. So, yeah, there are times where sometimes I do get jealous. But how can I work on it if I don't acknowledge it? How can I have that self talk, right? Like, that two versions of yourself. How can I have that self talk with myself if I don't even acknowledge that this is sometimes what I feel and what I see, right? I'm insecure about my breasts. I contemplate with myself all the time, like, should I get the rest job? Should I not? You on the spiritual path. You should be accepting with who you are. And I still struggle with that. Like, I haven't fully even determined or accepted what I'm going to do yet. I still don't even have an answer. Because another part of me says, yeah, but you're in this 3D expression. It doesn't make you less spiritual because you choose to fix the problem, right? Yeah, I think it's a balance with it. We see people who completely redo their whole bodies, their faces. Um, and I just don't want to make that decision from a place of low self esteem, a place of not feeling good enough. I want to make that decision from a place of, this is what I want, but I am extremely worthy even without it. And so I'm working on that. But I am insecure about it. And I would be lying to you all if I said that I wasn't. And have I made a decision to do it? Yes or no? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I really truly do not know. So who else am I when nobody is not looking? There are great things as well, and I don't want to sit on just the negativity. I wrote here, when we reflect on this, we forgive ourselves. We make peace. We acknowledge and move forward, not just move on without acknowledgement. I hear spirit talking to me right now and things that I need to share. When nobody is looking, sometimes I'm a little sad. Sometimes I reflect on my trauma and I think about some of the things that I experienced in my childhood. I experienced pain and suffering. And I'm actively working on forgiveness for myself, for others. When nobody is looking, I'm working on forgiveness. When nobody is looking, I'm working on grace. I'm working on compassion for myself, because we can't give anything that doesn't exist within us in order to extend to other people. When nobody is looking, sometimes I question the type of mother that I am. And I don't do it in pity, but I do it in order to challenge myself to show up each and every day to be better. Because at one point, I was a mother that I was ashamed of. I was a mother who was leading with herself. Gracefully, thank God that my children are still young and God presented myself to me to where I have been making decisions to change that. When I'm by myself and nobody's looking, I want more. I want more. I want more than what I already have. And I know we were supposed to move into all of the positive things, but I had to say that. I literally saw that and heard that. And I didn't mean to get too emotional. I was about to cry, but I wasn't trying to get too emotional. But yeah, I had to share that with you since this is a place of vulnerability. But I am also emotional. Is what I wrote. I am someone who's loving, who wants someone loving in their life, who accepts who I am, and who is seeking or attracting someone who accepts me for who I am. I'm someone who loves to be at home, loves to be in solitude, at least in this season, who loves gardening, who is learning to love cooking, who is learning to enjoy just being. I am someone who enjoys family. And as I actively work on forgiveness and actively lay down the arms of judgment, I love people. My old self would have been like, ugh, I hate people. I used to say that all the time. I dislike people. I don't like people. I used to say that, not being aware of like what I spoke over myself. But the actuality is I do love people, even the broken people. Because I think a part of me understands that we all are on this journey and we all have had experiences that may have shaped us, broken us, made us feel little, but there is light. Even in the deepest tunnel, you can find the light. And so in Lotus Academy, we talked about taking inventory of where we were. And I feel as though this journal prompt kind of is a parallel of that. Like when you look at who you are when nobody is looking, not the face that you put on, not the mask that you put on, not the show that you put on, not the roles that you put on, but just who you are. And each and every day, I am actively working towards who I am on a soul level. I want to express and be an expression of who I am on a soul level in my 3D, which is loving, which is kind, which is peaceful, which is bliss, which is a root working lady, even though that's a little 3D ish, but magical. That's on a soul level. Magical. It shows up as a root working lady on a 3D. but magical and align with the earth and the oneness of God. Right now in the 3D, I do so by gardening and loving on my indoor plants, learning how to alchemize my traumas, learning how not to feel in control and feel like I need to fix people in order for them to be adequate in my life, but accepting people for who they are and how they choose to show up, and then determining if that's conducive for me or not. Who are you when nobody's looking? It's today's journal prompts. So don't forget to take out your pen and your paper. Hopefully you already have your journal, but if not, don't allow this to just be a listen or a visual, but really taking that back. Drop a star emoji in the comments, wherever that is for you, whatever platform you're on, a star emoji, so that I know that you're here and we are reflecting the light in the darkness. We are our own light in our darkness, and that we're choosing to take steps forward in order to show up to be the best versions of ourselves, and that we are accepting where we are and giving ourselves grace and compassion. I love y'all. And so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share this journal prompts with your loved ones, with your family, with your children if they're older, with your children even when they're younger, so that they can too identify who they are outside of the things that they have, the roles that they play. But I love y'all. Until next time. Oh, and don't forget, in the description, free identity shifting workbook to peak, to tickle, to get you going on that identity shift that is meeting you on the other side. I love y'all. Until next time, peace be with you.